Wow, what a week. What a week. Holy wow, what a week. The energies this week were Hey Mark, you turn this on? Or up or something? Okay, there we go. So the energies this week for, most everybody in the room is intuitive, and as intuitives we tend to feel things a little more intensely than other folks do, but that doesn't eliminate the folks. Everybody felt something this week. The energies were mighty intense, pretty much across the board. And when we look at, with the skit, with the blue moon and the full moon being in Pisces, and that being a water sign and all about emotion, there were 4 major houses of the astrological chart that were deeply impacted by emotions this week. And boy, there just wasn't no ignoring the emotions that were there. And the circumstances for all of us were very different. Some very positive, some very negative, some somewhere in between. But there was no doubt it sure pulled it out of us this week. Just brought it right to the surface, right to the very edge. And right now we're talking about the going up to the top, the climax, which was on was it Monday? 31st. Yeah. Anyway, the 31st at 9:30 in the morning was the peak, and then now we're on the back side of it. So let's talk about the front side first. Friday. Okay. Because we just went through the front side, and the front side was just ramp it up, emotion after emotion after emotion, intensity, intensity, intensity. And most of us, on a scale of 1 to 10, we're feeling stuff at about a 12. And so first, know that you're not alone. Second, know that it's a testament to God that we are all connected, that we all are all influenced by these energies that we co-create with ourselves, with each other, with God, with the moon, with absolutely everything. To everything there's a purpose. Turn, turn, turn. And with this purpose, we can look at it from a human perspective and say, that sucked. This week, my wife had court with her ex-husband with child support, and somehow her ex-husband convinced a judge that at 9 months pregnant she needed to work and was responsible to, and needed to send him an extra $700 a month. And just, for those who know us, this is a pretty transparent group. We haven't seen the kids in almost 2 years, because every extra dollar we get, we send to the kids so that they can have the things that they need to have, which is foregone and so adding on another $700 a month on top of that was just, she lost it. She broke down. She just, absolutely, which killed me, because I'm trying to be there and be strong, and I'm trying to do this and that, and I'm looking at, man, with my new baby showing up, and my wife's going to be a full-time stay-at-home mom, then that's going to need to rest on my shoulders. And okay, God, let's do that, and let's do this. And one of the things I got involved with was a business, a network marketing thing, and I love it, and it's really good. But they've got a promotion next week, and I had worked my tail end off to earn 3 or 4 different chances at this particular promotion that basically at about a 1 in 22 chance of winning a $10,000 prize, a $5,000, $4,000, $3,000, $2,000, $1,000 prize. So you put those 3-4 chances together, and there was the ability to earn enough money to be able to have some extra dough to hire an appellate lawyer to get this thing overturned, because it's absolutely ridiculous. And the company said a week ago, oh, don't worry about it, we got your back. Birth and death are the 2 things in life you can't control. Then this week they said, sorry, must be present to win, and there's a scheduling conflict between the birth of your daughter and our corporate event. So even though you worked hard, sorry about your luck. And it was just one thing after the other thing after the other thing, and my emotions were just running so high, and the pressure was just building in. And then we had some folks show up at the door, like Sandy, who's not here today, and the reason she isn't here is her daughter got put into the hospital. Her baby is only 18 weeks along, and they said there's complications. We might have to take your baby and do an emergency C-section today at 18 weeks. And so our hearts were going out to her and to her family, and sending prayers and energy, and so it was just one thing after another thing after another thing, and it wasn't just that, it was in addition, the full moon, the blue moon, Pisces, emotion, pregnant wife, every day, every week, the baby's going to show up, no she's not, was just just so much, but at the same time, it was, need to be strong, and I've got this, honey, it'll be okay, and it'll be okay, and it'll be okay, and on top of that, our water heater quit about, the bottom kind of started falling out of it here, I don't know, when we were on vacation, so over the 4th of July, and would drain into the closet, so every 3 times a day we'd go change towels, and we're just limping by to make this stuff happen, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the point is that in the skit there were 3 different people with 3 different set of circumstances. I'm sure that everybody can relate to at least one. One was, as I just described our week to be, was immensely emotional and buckets. The other was people who were immensely happy, just absolutely couldn't control it. Mike and Sue, who normally sit over here, said, Scott, we're not going to be there next week. We're taking 4 days. It's our anniversary. I performed their wedding ceremony 8 years ago.
5, 6 years ago.
No, it was at least 7 or 8.
Okay.
Well, anyway, I performed their ceremony about 7 or 8 years ago. They're married, they're happy, they're here every single week. And they said, we're taking off 4 days. We don't even know where we're going. We're just going to get in the car and say, let's take this road to that road. Let's just go this way or that way. And we're just going to go have a anniversary honeymoon kind of thing and just absolutely love on each other. And life is going to be really cool. And then we got these other stories of all these positive things of just, Scott, I can't explain it, these positive emotions, these love. I'm crying at a Kleenex commercial of cheers of joy. Everything I look, I'm seeing these miracles and just amazing stuff. And then the third person in the skit was the person who said, man, I must be immune. I'm not feeling nothing. But everybody around me, gosh, I got all kinds of people feeling all kinds of stuff. And in the skit, those people became the angels for other folks. And they said, I'll help you because you're falling apart emotionally and I'll be there for you, I'll be strong. Or you're doing such amazing things and you're feeling this love and I'll be a cheerleader with you to help amplify that even higher. Well, I painted a picture for you of what the week was emotionally in this house. And then, day before yesterday, I got a phone call that said, Scott, we just went to Home Depot and we bought you a water heater, and it's going to be installed tomorrow. Now, we've been looking at this online. We've been trying to figure out how we're going to do it. It was an extra $1,000. There was no way. Which is why we're doing the towel thing. And those 2 people we're blessed to say were angels in our lives this week, and they're sitting on this love seat. They're my folks. Now, every week when we take the tithing, when we take the donations, we put at least minimum of 10% in the God box. And anybody who knows anyone who has a special need, we've shown up with folks with groceries. So-and-so doesn't have electricity. When we use that money to turn their lights back on, or so-and-so needs to get to work and the tires in their car are gone. And we put new tires on cars. And we've got to do all this thing over the course of years, all of us together as a family. But somehow it's become so much easier to give than to receive. And you can feel from other folks, like when Julie was in this room and she was talking about that her tires were bald. They looked like they're going to pop, and she had to take glue everywhere and all these things. And I carjacked her, and I took her keys and I ran out the door, and we put some new tires on her car, and we brought the car back, and she just had this overwhelming emotion and cried, and you could feel the gratitude and the joy and the unexpected and I just needed something to go right in my world. Well, I'm here to tell you, it's completely different when you feel that from somebody else than when you feel it from yourself. When I got that phone call that there was a water heater, that it was going to be installed, and it was a done deal, and we didn't have to worry about that. I'm a pretty emotional guy, but I have a certain moniker of control, I think, in my own head somehow. Well, not that day and not on that phone call. I just busted out bawling. I don't know, have you heard me cry maybe twice in your life? The emotions were so uncontainable that the gratitude that spilled out was just so amazing. And then I'm watching my wife, who I just watched cry the day before, now watching me cry on the phone with my mom about a water heater, and it was just nuts. But this is all of the backside and the upside and then the crescendo of what we've already experienced. Now, at the top of this crescendo, which was a couple days ago, Now it starts to come on the backside of this moon, and here's the backside of this blue moon energy. Intense manifesting energy. Intense manifesting energy. So as this part here was God just pulling the stuff out of us that we didn't need anymore. And what a perspective shift that is. We all have our stuff, our fears and our things that we keep buried deep inside, and I'm just going to bury that. And the strong energy was God pulling that stuff out because we didn't need it anymore. Those fears with ex-husbands and courts and child supports and that's yanked out now. It's not, this and that and all the things that we went through this week, it got yanked out of us. So that the bad part is, the uncomfortable part is that it got brought to the surface. The good part is that it didn't stop there, it continued and got pulled out. Now this comes into God's greatest gift of free will, and as those energies climax, then on the backside, the now side is an amazing amount of manifesting energy. Long lasting, like till the next blue moon, like the next 2 to 3 years worth of, 3 years, it was 2015, of manifesting energy. The things that we focus on right now, and we've talked, of course, with thoughts creating reality and all of those things, but there's also working with those energies. And when those energies were ramping up on this emotional stuff, there was nothing else that the mind didn't exist. You weren't going to outthink it. And on this backside is we have a choice to think about it. We could choose in our life to focus on this thing and this injustice and this pressure and this stuff. And if we would have chosen to, and if we choose to now focus on those things, I can assure you we will manifest the heck out of them, especially for the next 2 to 3 years, because this is like planting the seeds time, energetically speaking, on the downside, on the backside of this full moon. Instead, we chose to count our blessings. We looked at the love that we have in this room from our Connections family. We looked at the love and our angels in human form, my folks who saw me and were there for us at that time. We just needed something to go right. And we started to look at the blessings, and really it changed the whole energy. And now, as we're in this next couple days, and even probably the next 72 hours, 96 hours, somewhere in there, we're still going to be on the downside effect, the backside effect of this full moon. So over the next 3-4 days, pay careful attention, more so than normal, as to what you choose to think about, because these really are the seeds that you're manifesting for the next 2 to 3 years. This is the energy that we're working with right now with this particular blue moon, this particular full moon, Pisces, etc. And with that, when we look at the skit and we look at God, there was no malice, there was no punishment, there was no I'm trying to teach you a lesson, there was none of this stuff. There was, we chose to bury stuff inside. And this energy helped pull it out. Well, if I have a sliver in my finger, I prefer somebody help pull it out than just let me keep bumping into it forever and ever and ever and letting it fester and get bad and whatever. That initial take it out isn't as cool, but afterwards it's like, oh, that feels better. Thank you. And so when I look at even the week that we had, the week that other folks had shared with us that they had, the week that you had, think what is that sliver that was being pulled out? And that immense amount of energy working with the moon, working with God, working with each other, working with the guides and angels, working with everybody as we're all connected to help these things get pulled out. Giving us that pinnacle that said, okay, now this is moving from the windshield to the rear view mirror. Which way are you aiming the car? What are you going to look at now? Because whatever you choose to look at now, you're probably going to be looking at for the next couple of years. So really choose wisely which direction you point your car over the next few days. The timing of this is really, really critical. But also, it's like putting Wile E. Coyote rocket boosters on whatever it is you're looking at. Like, and we go really quick because all this massive amount of energy of this blue moon, full moon, etc., now that we're on the other side of it, it's like, woo! So it can be fun, it can be fast, it can be better than and faster than, and probably longer lasting than we might have imagined.